Increments are the key. Taking over. And I'm gonna tell you why. When it comes to business, your growth either happens like the tortoise or like the hare. And what you want to make sure of is that you know how to handle both of them. But what I want to talk about today is the aspect of increments, the tortoise. Slow, steady, projectable growth. The allure of entrepreneurship are all of these stories surrounding these unicorns, these companies that started and in less than a year they grew to over $1 million, over $1 billion. And then within their first 5 years, now there's some publicly traded company that's worth hundreds of billions of dollars or tens of billions of dollars. That's not how most entrepreneurship grows. A lot of what you see online, a lot of people think that if it doesn't happen quick, doesn't happen fast, and if I don't have exorbitant amounts of money from my business idea, then I'm not doing good. I'm not a real entrepreneur. I'm not a successful businessman or businesswoman. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Here's the truth. Most businesses grow incrementally. A lot of the ones that stay or that have the lasting power are the ones that grow slow, that grow in increments. So let's break down increments. Increments provide quite a few things. Control. A lot of times, faster you go, the easier it is to fall off. But also, if you go too slow, it's easier to lose balance as well. But what incremental growth allows and what it provides is a certain level of control that you couldn't have going too slow or going too fast. One of the great benefits of increments. Another benefit of increments is projectable progress. We know that, guess what, if I make 100 phone calls and I get 10 people that answer the phone and I can land one of those 10 people as a client, now I have an equation that allows me to say, hey, if I want to add 100 new clients every single month or every single quarter, what I need to do is make 10,000 phone calls. Because out of those 10,000 phone calls, if 1,000 of them pick up, then I can close 100 of them. All projectable, measurable progress. And if I do that every single month, then I'll meet my goals. The other thing that increments provide, they provide staying power. Staying power because a lot of things that shoot up quickly fizzle out just as quickly. But these steady incremental inclines up the mountain allow you to have the staying power and build up the lung capacity to breathe that thin air and to stay up in that thin air. Next, it provides a certain amount of safety. And I know safety isn't one of the greatest words that entrepreneurs like to encounter, use, or think about or be involved with, because I take risks and risks aren't safe. So why do I need safe? Because there's such a thing as calculated risks. And the reason that they're calculated is because you're trying to have some level of safety. Unbridled risk could give you extremely bad results. And that's what you want to make sure that you don't overlook. Now, what do increments require? Incremental growth. Incremental growth requires discipline, consistent, persistent work towards your goal, day in and day out. And in order to do that, oftentimes it's going to require conviction that I know that this is my purpose. I know that this is what I love. I know that I can help a ton of people doing this, or I can make a ton of money doing this. Conviction and endurance. You have to have endurance to make sure that you can go the full course, that you don't stop before you reach those jewels. You don't stop digging right before you're 1 inch away from the jewels and walk away. That's what you needed this endurance for. And in order to have that endurance, sometimes you're going to need some encouragement. And this encouragement doesn't have to come from others, but you have to encourage yourself. The beautiful aspect about increments when it concerns encouraging yourself is that because it's predictable, it's measurable progress, you can project it. As long as you measure your progress, then that could provide the encouragement that, guess what? We're growing 5% every single month or 8% every single year. Sometimes incremental growth is imperceivable. You know, I got a child, I got 2 children, matter of fact. And the crazy thing is, looking at them every single day, I just think that they're the most gorgeous little human beings and look the same. But then when I go back and I look at a picture from a year ago or 2 years ago, they look completely different. It was almost imperceivable to me because I'm looking at them every single day and I'm not measuring the progress by taking a picture every single day or every single week. You have to make sure that you have a measuring system in place in order to perceive the incremental progress that you're making to help encourage yourself to stay disciplined in order to keep going forward. And some of the things that discourage you. Incremental growth isn't attractive. Nobody thought the tortoise would win. Nobody thinks that companies that are growing 5%, 10% a year are doing anything effective. They only think the ones that are growing by 100,000%. They made 100 grand this year and 100 million the next year. They only think that those are attractive. A lot of times increments are forgotten, like I was telling you about how my children look or how your business might look year to year. You just have to make sure that you understand the nuances or the differences. Beautiful thing about increments is that it's going to help you win. Businesses only grow one of two ways, and they only die one of two ways. And those two ways are aggressively or incrementally. And the thing is that if you jump in and it's not immediately aggressive, that doesn't mean you're not gonna grow. That means that you have to take the incremental route. And then once you take the incremental route, there might be spurts of aggressive growth. And if you're aggressively growing, there might be spurts where you need to be incremental. Nonetheless, understand the benefits of both. Don't be discouraged and keep it pushing. Anyways, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I'd be happy to respond. Please follow us on our other social media. I love my mama. Cheers.